Hello, First Community. My name is Sky Leak. I'm a mentor and an alumnus of Team 876 from Hatton, Northwood, North Dakota, and I'm here to talk about making electronic scouting the whole package. In 2016, we were met with great success on the scouting front, utilizing community-available resources and a small bag of tricks. Now, I quickly want to go over what electronic scouting means for the purposes of this video. Now, I'm just going to roughly define it as using a computer to gather or crunch data. And I'm sure you could come up with a much more concise definition. But for the meantime, using any electronics to make things easier on yourself. Now, there's a lot of different scouting systems out there, from notes to paper to electronic to hybrids of all three. But there's some holes in electronic that are kind of best filled with the other types. One big hole that I've kind of marked out of three is data presentation. So how do you take this load of data, compile it into something, and make it something tangible for somebody to interpret? Another big thing is data redundancy. So is that data only available on a single device, or is that data available in the cloud or somewhere in between? Another big thing that's really important in my eyes is whose devices are you doing this scouting on? With personal devices, people get distracted far too easily. Also, people really don't like messing with their device to install some sort of scouting app or something. And with the variety of personal devices out there, data integrity and battery life and things of that nature start to become important. The focus now shifts from how do you make electronic scouting the whole package more towards how do you solve these three kind of core issues. Some of them are kind of freebies, right? So with whose devices are you using, it's easy enough to provide cheap tablets for scouting purposes only. Some other things are also relatively easily solved. With data redundancy, it's easy enough to make backups over lunch during an event and stuff like that. Or if you use the appropriate app setup, like we use Wildrank, you have many copies, in our case 7 or 8 copies of most frequently synced data at any real given point. So if a tablet kind of drops out of the array, you still have the overwhelming majority of the data, and all you lose is a couple single teams worth of match data. The big one seems to be data presentation. So last year at Worlds, we implemented a small thermal receipt printer into our setup. This provided an easy way to give data to people who needed it, such as scouting, strategy, and drive teams. And it was nice because you didn't have to worry about excessive data. You had a nice concise report to give to somebody. It didn't matter if you lost it. You didn't have to scroll through stuff. Paper is the most legal thing First seems to have, right? So this was probably, in our eyes, the best solution overall. And the fact that it was a small thermal receipt printer was extraordinarily portable. I mean, it has its own battery, connect via USB or Bluetooth if you're kind of out of the competition zone. That's nice. So that's kind of our approach about it. I guess stay tuned for a tutorial and some updates and all that stuff. Thank you for watching, and good luck this season.